Hello everyone, welcome to Hashtag Alive with BDO. My name is Wilson from Audit Department. We are so privileged to actually be talking with Aaron, which is the Head of Policy and Technical at ACCA Malaysia. As an ACCA student affiliate myself, I actually have a lot of questions to actually forward them to Aaron. And Aaron is a fellow member of Association Chartered Certified Accountant, which means that he actually has more than 5 years experience working in multinational and small and medium enterprises within Malaysia, providing assurance services and previously audit services to the client. So I think he will be able to tackle all your questions, actually clear all your queries. So don't be afraid to actually forward your questions to him within the chat box when we actually invite him on board later. Hi Aaron.
Hi, hello Wilson. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay.
So
good.
this is
Thank
Aaron.
you.
This is
Hello,
Aaron from
everyone.
ACCA Malaysia, the Head of Policy and Technical. So would you like to introduce to us a little bit about yourself and your journey with ACCA?
Sure. Okay. Firstly, this is my first Insta Live. So hello everyone. I don't know whether the camera is set up correctly.
Hello.
Can you see me? Do I look huge? Are you looking at Aaron Saw as a person, or you're seeing a big pumpkin right on your screen?
No, it's just
can you tell
okay.
me what
A
you see
person.
now? Big pumpkin?
Yeah. No, it's a
That's okay.
handsome
Good. Okay.
Aaron.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Wilson.
Yeah.
So I'm Aaron Saw, the Head of Policy and Technical at ACCA Malaysia. I'm a fellow member of ACCA. Well, it's been almost 10 years of membership, and also a journey of over 10 years in accountancy. I started my career right after degree with a big four accounting firm. Spent a little over 10 years there and did a myriad of things. So I started with audit. So I did audits of multinationals, subsidiaries in Malaysia's, Malaysians SMEs, in seriously lots of industries. I've seen how things are made. I've gone to factories. I've looked at how things are manufactured from sheet metal into the finished product, into things we use at home. It's really great learning experience. And then I moved on to training. I conducted training. So I'm still doing audit as my full-time job. It's just that, in audit, there are some off-peak period. Then during that time, I do trainings. I train senior associates on how to perform audits from start to finish. Then I got into training on IFRS. So I spent 2 years in the technical consultancy department, where I did technical consultancy, solving complex accounting issues. At the same time, I also did IFRS training for colleagues in the firm. Then I thought it's time to do something else. I look for opportunities, and then that's where I am today. More than 2 years in ACCA, sharing insights. So the title Head of Policy and Technical can be a bit misleading. If you think that Head of Policy, does he set SOPs? No, I don't set SOPs. I don't set policies, but in fact, what I do is me and my colleagues in the team called Professional Insights is we observe what's happening in the market and how this affects businesses and accountants as a whole. Then we share these insights, or rather we gather all our observations, data, and share them as insights with accountants, with our members, with people who hires accountants, like BDO, the firms, corporations, regulators, the public sector, the government. We tell them, this is what's happening, right? So we solve tomorrow's questions today. So that's a little bit about me and what I do. So over to you, Wilson.
For me, I've actually studied in Tunku Abdul Rahman University College. I took up that degree, and I've actually also taken up the ACCA program through my degree. So actually the degree program that I've taken is actually sort of a accelerated program. It's actually a Bachelor of Commerce actually catered for the taking out of ACCA. So I actually I studied the first year of my degree, which is actually the second year of degree because I actually credit transferred from the diploma that I also studied in Tunku Abdul Rahman University College. So I completed my first year, exempted for my F papers, and I went on to an internship with BDO and actually go back to study for the last year of my degree and also completed my professional papers. Yeah, so basically that's it for my
interesting journey. So we kind of started in the same place. Yeah, I started from Tar College as well.
Oh, I see. So you're my senior.
Kind of, because I didn't do the degree in Tar College. So after Tar College, I did a certificate. At that time, it's called CPUS, and then I moved on to Utah to pursue my Bachelor of Commerce in accounting in Utah. And with that degree, I started working. So I actually pursue ACCA on a part-time basis while I work full-time in an accounting firm.
Wow, that must be really tough for you because you have to cater actually the studying time and then the working time. You have to juggle the time really well.
It was. I mean, just imagine, Wilson, you are in my shoes working 5 days a week in audit, right? Audit rarely ends on the 5th day, on Fridays. You know that, okay? And classes on Saturday and Sundays because I was taking 2 papers every sitting. So Saturday is a class for 1 paper. Sunday is a class for another paper. So it's been like that for me about 1.5 years. So I managed to complete all papers in 3 sittings. And because I was on something like an accelerate pathway as well. So I also got exemption. So I only need to do 5 papers. That time was 5 papers. So I completed my 5 papers in 3 sittings. Every weekend is study, some work, study. So I told myself, you don't like this lifestyle? Fine, right? Complete your studies as soon as possible, and then you get your weekends back. So that's how I convinced myself. I turned that into another form of energy, another form of positivity. So I did my best in that 1.5 years. Every weekend, go for class, make sure I pass ACCA, and in other words, for a better life tomorrow.
Yeah, that's why I always actually suggest my juniors actually join the Accelerate program because it actually allows you to actually completely focus on your studies. And then once you are out for work, you are working in whatever in accounting related industry, right? You don't actually have to cater your personal time to actually for studies. Yeah, that's actually really tough, like what you have mentioned.
Great advice. Great advice, because you really want to focus on your career when you're working. You want to build that solid platform. You want to dedicate your time on building that platform so it's solid, it's your launch pad. That's really, if you want a great career, right? It's not easy. You have to put in time to build your knowledge, your interpersonal skills, your communication, and your relationships. I mean, relationships with people is very important in business. It's not only what you know, how much you know, but it's also whom to work with, who likes to work for you.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we have quite a number of people on board already. So let's just go into the question and answer session. So we have actually prepared a list of questions actually previously gathered from a group of university students that they would like to forward to you, is Aaron, regarding ACCA. However, to everyone who is actually in the chat box, if you have any question, just go ahead and type it into the comment box. We'll actually answer them fast. Okay. So the first one that we'll have to mention, I understand that there is actually an ACCA Accelerate pathway for university students. Can you actually explain a little bit more to the students?
Sure. I think we kind of break the surprise earlier when you said you were on something like Accelerate, and then I said, oh yeah, I'm also on something like Accelerate. Yeah. So let's tell you the current accelerate program. What is this? So this is, think of this as an incentivized pathway for university students to top up your degree with professional qualification with an ACCA. So now ACCA is benchmarked at the master's level in the UK, right? So this is a master's level professional qualification. So it's something you want to add on to your degree if you're pursuing a degree in accounting. What is great about this is think of it as a fast track to obtaining a professional qualification, because with the Accelerate program, you'll be eligible for exemptions, and some universities are eligible for the maximum exemption of 9 papers. So all you have to do is then complete the remaining 4 papers at the strategic professional level. Okay, 4 papers, strategic professional level, plus completing the ethics and professional skills module. It's an online module that you can complete it at your own time. So what is great about this is, for an accountant, integrity is key. Ethics is our bedrock. So how do you learn about ethics? So the module gives you, of course, it starts with definition, gives you scenarios, and gives you some situational analysis, so you kind of grab hold, get a good grasp of what ethics is about. Then it builds on your professional skills to prepare you for work. So things like improving my personal effectiveness, using technology effectively, communicating effectively, getting your right message across. So you got to complete that modules, which takes roughly about 20 hours. To be honest, I took more than that. I think as an FCCA, I took about 25 hours to complete the module. Now, this is not your typical e-learning where you just keep clicking next, next, next. It's a module that requires you to absorb, reflect, and try to practice. Absorb, reflect, try to practice. So you practice what you learn, because that's what you do at work. It prepares you early, okay? And to get your ACCA membership, we always say there are 3 E's. I've talked about exams, EPSM, and the last one is getting your experience. But I think we'll move on to experience later, right? So we just talk about the first 2 E's now. So for Accelerate program, besides getting the exemption, you also save on fees. Now you save about at least 5,000 ringgit today. At the current exchange rate of about 5.6 plus is in fact more than that. It's 5,000. I think you get the picture. 5,000 plus compared to if you're not on the Accelerate path, right? Complete your degree, pass already, start working, and then you apply to study ACCA, you will pay the standard price. So so you save about 5,000 plus. How much you have to pay? It's still about 5,000 plus. Yeah, it's still about 5,000 plus that you need to pay, and then you decide whether you want to go for tuition. So of course, if you go for tuition, then you need to pay for the tuition fees. What you pay to ACCA is just the registration, the annual subscription, but on Accelerate, you actually save 2 years of annual subscription. And then you pay for the exam fees and EPSM. So it's an incentivized pathway.
Yeah, I think for nowadays, right, the professional qualifications are actually very important. So this Accelerate program actually assisted the current accounting students that are still studying with their respective universities for their degree to actually be one step ahead from the same batch of the students there, because a lot of currently accounting related industry are actually relating professional qualifications, because professional qualifications actually cater a lot of opinions within the industry, and then to actually help the students to actually apply the technical knowledge that will actually be used when they are in the working field in accounting related industry. Yeah, thank you, Aaron. So moving on to the second question. Oh yeah, this one is a common question. So I'm a full-time student with no work experience. I understand that from my seniors that the advanced level papers such as SPR, which is known as Strategic Business Reporting, and SPR, Strategic Business Leaders, are very difficult to attempt without experience. Does ACCA actually provide support to assist students like me to complete these papers?
Okay, let's start from the very obvious. Is it tough? Yes, it's very tough. Okay, since the days of P2 at that time. So why is it tough? Pick up any annual report of a listed company in Malaysia. Okay, why I say Malaysia? Because we adopt MFRS, which is essentially equivalent to IFRS. Okay, you don't like Malaysia? Fine, go to any country that uses IFRS, pick up their annual report. Look at the annual report. Take a look. Okay, do you understand the numbers? Do you understand how the numbers came about? How was it? How were they measured? What numbers get onto the financial reports? Why do the statements look like that? Why non-current assets have to be accounted in such manner? Why are some financial assets measured at fair value, some measured amortized costs? What's amortized cost, by the way, right? You see, so why is it tough? Because financial reporting, SBR is a financial reporting or corporate reporting paper, right? It's to equip you with the skills to prepare that full set of financial statements. I have to repeat, it's the full set of financial statements comprising the income statement, balance sheet, cash flow statement, statement of equity, changes in equity, and all the notes to the financial statements, which means you also need to decide whether the accounting policy applied is reasonable, right? Selecting accounting policy is not an eeny, meeny, miny, moe operation. You need to understand the business, and accounting follows the business. So you got to decide whether the accounting policy is appropriate for the transaction. If that sounds difficult, if that sounds tough to you, and that, my friend, is mirrored into the exam, because you got to show that if you pass that paper, you have a satisfactory level of competency to prepare the full set of financial statements. So if I were a company, I want to hire an accountant, and I see you're an ACCA member, you pass SBR, I know you have that competency to do your job. I don't have to worry, right? So yes, if you're a full-time student, it is difficult. So my take is look at the website, go to ACCA, every paper has its dedicated page, a collection of resources on ACCA website. You can look at the syllabus, what is covered. There are tips on how to study for this paper. So start early, plan your studies according to the syllabus early. Practice the case studies available. There are also some self-check quizzes. Go check your understanding. And what you can do is also look at the past year's paper or specimen paper. Not to memorize, not to audit the answers, okay? What you do is you review the paper, and by reviewing, it helps you grasp where are the gaps. What are the things you don't understand? Then you build your knowledge in those areas, right? Then you prepare for the exam. You can do your own mock. Set aside a time. If this paper takes like 3 hours, you prepare that 3 hours undisturbed time and do it. Oh, by the way, from June onwards, all exams will be computer-based, no more paper-based, so you don't have to train your writing skills anymore, but instead transition to typing skills. I hear some of you rejoice. Yeah, those who can type faster than you write, I know you're very happy. Okay, so that is preparing for your exam, but learning should not only be about passing exam. Passing exam is important, but you should learn about what's in the syllabus. So read up. When I say take up the annual report of listed company, is also to get a sense of what's in an annual report. So this is your future. This is what you will be doing. You may not be the preparer like Wilson and I in the past. What we do is we are the auditors. So we got to understand, right? If you look at the annual report, we got to know what the preparer, the accountant has done to it. If you're
Yes,
in the bank, if you're the lender, okay, you pick up the annual report, you got to know what has happened to it, whether that makes sense. If you're an investor, you work in asset management, you pick up the annual report, you also need to know what happens. So it's not just learning to be a preparer, but in many other roles, right, these skills is relevant. So pick up annual reports to look at it, read a lot, read things like the Edge, read the business sections, read Harvard's business reviews, Newsweek. This will help you gain insights into the business. Perhaps that will make your learning easier. I mean, for me, it made it easier for me to understand P2 at my time.
Yeah. Well, I've actually, for my opinion, for my experience, I actually referred to ACCA resources to actually help me tackle this paper. The thing that I like about these two papers, although looking back, it was really tough for me to actually prepare. But then what I like about this paper is that it actually allow you to create your own answers. Like maybe sometimes the questions are quite short and you are actually unable to derive all the necessary information from the questions. So what you can do is that you can actually create a situation like, for example, what actually happens if you sell the asset, buy the asset. That actually allows you to actually and starting from June onwards, you'll be taking computer-based exam, which actually helps me because I'm a slow writer, so I can just type whichever answer that I feel correct into the answer sheet. So it actually helps. Yeah. So be a little bit more daring with your answers. Trust yourself. Be confident with your answers. So I think that would be the key to actually tackle this SPL and SPR paper. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Aaron. So
I think what you've done, Wilson,
the...
is a bit of a visualization. You did visualization.
Yeah.
Because not everyone not everyone has the experience. So you read and you visualize that really helps. So
Yeah.
that's a good technique to share.
Thank you very much. Okay, so moving on to the next question. So are there any differences in the program now that we are actually living in the new normal with the COVID-19 and stuff? Are there actually differences here to stay even after COVID? For example, how has the ACCA's program changed to cater for potential financial impact of COVID-19 onto the company's financial statements and risk management?
Okay, if you ask about impact to exam, you got to brace for current situation exams, right? ACCA loves to ask questions based on what's happening currently. So if you're preparing for exam, this may just come out like, what's the impact of the pandemic to your asset in the SBR question? This may be an impairment question. This may be a goodwill question. So it may be also a board question. So it may ask about how do you want to handle this, maybe in terms of impact to employees or impact to your supply chain. So it may be relevant to SBL. So that's more about in terms of the question. In terms of your learning, I think the changes is a lot of what I understand. A lot of our learning partners has also pivoted to offer online classes. So you learn online, though you cannot attend physical classes. There are pre-recorded sessions that you can watch to prepare. On ACCA side, this is something we launched last year. It's called the ACCA Lyceum. And what happens is, what's Lyceum is, these are a collection of short videos, about 5 to 6 minutes length for each video, and they cover a very specific section for paper. So if you think you want to pick up some knowledge on SBL, go to the SBL section, look at the topics that's covered in the video. If you think you're preparing for APM, or even say you're not planning, you're not sitting for APM, but you are thinking should I take this paper or should I not? What's APM about? Go ahead, look at these videos. Where can you get them? At ACCA website. Make sure you select Malaysia, go to the students section, and you will see a category called ACCA Lyceum. Okay. Another platform you can find it is on ACCA Malaysia's Facebook page. The Lyceum videos are there, so you can watch those at your leisure anytime.
YouTube for
Okay,
ACCA.
I think that's yeah, you can think of them as YouTube, but it's a short video, 5 to 6 minutes, some even shorter.
Yeah. Okay. So moving on to the next question. So if I am a student or member, are there any professional development support available to me, including during this pandemic? That you have mentioned that, for example, the resources from PCCA, the professional insights, are they actually complementary to us? And then what are actually the different types of courses to available for example, the tuition, and then are they actually provided by ECCA or actually third-party institution?
Okay, it's a very long question. Let me try to break it down. Okay, so assuming the typical journey for a person to become an ACCA member is you start from being a student. Okay, there are various entry points into ACCA qualification as a student. We've talked about Accelerate earlier. I presume that's the most popular path among our listeners today. And so as a student, your goal is to learn, gain knowledge, pass the exams. Meanwhile, you do EPSM. And after you pass all the exams, the next stage is affiliates. Okay, so during the affiliate stage is where most people will gain work experience, or what we call the practical experience. Some people may start even earlier, right? So like myself, I work and study part-time, so my work experience actually started way earlier before I complete all exams. Anyway, the affiliate stage is your working stage for most people, and then after 36 months of practical experience, fill up the form, send that very important email to ACCA, and voila, you're a member. Okay, so 3 stages: students, affiliate, members. Now, as a student, what kind of support do you get from ACCA? I've talked about gaining knowledge. So that's to start gaining knowledge. Maybe one thing you want to consider is, what's your ambition? What do you want to become? Okay, have a rough idea, then go to ACCA website and look at the competency framework. There's a matching for roles and competencies. And with that, there's also matching to the kind of papers in the strategy professional level that you should take if this is the role that you want to be performing. Okay, so from there, it kind of helps you decide whether you want to take those routes. If you want to be an auditor, easy lah. You should take the AAA, the Advanced Audit and Assurance paper. Okay. Once you decide that, then it helps. Then you start studying for the particular paper. I've told you, right? Go to each section every paper has a collection of resources. Look at the syllabus. Then you start studying. You can choose whether you want to study with a tuition provider, on your own, or with an online learning partner. Okay, that's your choice. The good thing about ACCA is plenty of choice. So during your studies, you have all the resources in the student section that will help you with the study guides. There's exam advice, there's tutor advice, past year exam questions, specimen exams for you to try it out, for you to do your own mock exam. There's a study planner. If you're not the very disciplined type, or you don't have your own planner, there's a study planner to help you plan your studies, like 8 weeks before what you do, 6 weeks before what you do. It gives you a kind of I see this as a guideline, right? It helps you to plan your studies. Then Then you have apps like Student Accountants app. So whatever I told you just now, you say, Aaron, I need a laptop. What if I want something in my hand? I want the power in my hands. Okay, that's a student's accountant's app. You can download, and all this information is available in your smartphone. So literally in your hands. You can read all the technical advice, technical papers that's written for the paper that you're attempting. There's another app that's really great. It's called the Professional Insights. That's for you to build your knowledge, not prepare exam, build your knowledge on what's happening around the world, what's happening that's affecting the profession. There's podcasts, there's plenty of reports there, right? So those are what I think as something like an active support. There is one very important passive support that you may overlook and you did not think about. That passive support is recognition. As a student, when you study ACCA, you tell an employer, tell anyone, oh, I'm an ACCA student. Chances are people know what you're studying. That's the recognition. I say, oh, you are preparing to be a member. Immediately your value, there's some value to you. And say, okay, this is a good candidate. Why? Because this qualification has been known to many employers. Many employers are aware of ACCA. In fact, there are over 180 approved employers in Malaysia, over 7,500 around the world. So don't worry about employability. That is the passive support you'll get. Okay. Then you move on as an affiliate. When you finish exam, what's next? Naturally work. You think about employment. So the support you get is, JobStreet, LinkedIn. Do you know ACCA careers? So that's a job portal for you to look for jobs that's relevant to ACCA. Go into the portal. Don't need to worry, okay? Because employers who post the vacancies on the portals knows they're hiring ACCA members, affiliates, or students. So your qualification is recognized when you look for jobs on ACCA careers. Besides employment, what's available is also career advice. There's a new section now called the Skills Builder. So careers advice has all the things to help you prepare for your interviews, prepare your CVs, resumes, your mental well-being. How to make it better? We have a skill builder section, so that helps you build your skills to prepare for your career. Okay. Now, after 3 years, get your practical experience done, sign off. Next stage as a member. Member gets plenty of support. Why? Because we need members to be abreast of the current development. So you get CPDs, webinars, you get seminars, forums, all these to help you stay current with what's happening. Okay, are these complementary? Most of the things I mentioned are complementary. You can use it without paying anything extra. Of course, CPD, if you want to learn something in depth in that topic, those are chargeable CPD. Likely to be chargeable. Anything 8 hours, likely to be chargeable. Okay, but you get a lot of complimentary support.
Okay,
right.
Thank you so much, Aaron. So, for those in the chat box, if you still have any question, you can feel free. We still have some time. So I would like to thank you, Aaron, for that extremely insightful section. We have actually gained a lot from it. If you still have any question that you may feel shy to actually forward in the chat box, you can actually email to myinfo@eccaglobal.com. Also, I have heard that ECCA have organize a virtual Thursday. Aaron, would you like to share a little bit more about it?
Oh, thanks for bringing that up, Wilson. Coincidentally, it's a Thursday today. So we have a session that's currently ongoing until 3 p.m. So you can drop by anytime before 3 p.m. Don't come 2:59, okay? Come earlier. Get your questions answered. If you want to know more about Accelerate, my colleagues there will help you. If you want to know more about ACCA in general, what kind of support you will get as a student, right? If you think Aaron didn't do a good job explaining, I need to know more, visit our virtual Thursday. So how do you join? Get to ACCA Facebook page or LinkedIn, and then you will see the link there. Okay, you can click on the link to join our virtual Thursday. It's hosted on Microsoft Teams platform. So I'll see you there, and my helpful colleagues will be there to help you with your questions.
Yeah,
Thank you,
later.
Wilson.
Yeah, you're welcome. Later, Michelle from BCCA will be also posting the link within the comment box, the chat box. You can actually click on it and then register. On a side note, video will actually be having a Careerosity 2.0, which actually guides the students pertaining professional qualifications. For example, does video provide financial support for their employees to take up professional qualifications, and is video actually an authorized training employer? We have got you covered. So my colleague Xiaoling will be posting the link later in the comment box. So feel free to register for both of the events. So we have actually reached to the end of our section. We'd like to, on behalf of video, thank you for joining all four of our live with video sections with MICP, ICAW, CPA Australia, as well as ECA today. And we'd like to extend our deepest gratitude to Aaron for joining us today. We've actually gained a lot, and we have answered our questions with you. Thank you very much. So yeah, so see you when I see you in the future, and yeah,
I'll see you at the new member ceremony, Wilson.
Oh, thank you very much. See you soon. Right.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
Supong.
Bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye.